Okay. I believe we're recording, correct? Yes, we are. I know we're transcribing this meeting, but anybody see the recording?
Yes,
all right,
it's
bingo.
recording.
All right.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our October President's Council meeting. It is 6:32, so I officially call the meeting to order. Thank you all for attending tonight. We have a packed agenda. And first item of business is to turn the floor over to Dr. Mike for the superintendent's report.
Sure. Thanks so much, Rachel. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Just bear with me as I go through this. I'm a little bit under the weather. So if a few coughs wind up making it out, please excuse me. I'll do the best that I can. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing okay. I'll share my screen. And we'll go through this short presentation tonight with all of you guys. And as I've kind of started with you, and I want to continue, just space of connection before content, just a small little activity that I had done with the DLT, did with the CEC, I'd like to do with you guys as well. Just one thing that you remember most about elementary through your high school years. It can be anything, or just one thing that you value most. You could either add into the chat or come off mute just to say a couple of words around either of those things. The thing that you remember most about your elementary through high school years, or one thing that you value most. Now, if you're willing to come off mute, that would be great, or just add it to the chat. I'd love to see what you guys have in mind.
I remember a teacher, Mr. Coughlin. He was a social studies teacher. I think he was sixth or seventh grade. And the stuff that he did, we played role-playing games. We did I guess, build your own civilization based on Lord of the Flies, where all the sixth or seventh graders kind of got trapped in an island and presented everything else. So we had mock trials, we had stock market crashes. So very memorable. It's been like 40, 50 years or something like that. So
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You have good teachers. You have music teachers. Growing up was great. I value my connections to my school. Hold on, it's blocking me. Community and teachers, they were always there to support me. You also have a few great teachers that saw my gifts. Oops, wait a minute. Saw my gifts, talents before I realized them for myself. You have music teacher was great at 193. We put on plays for the parents.
Yeah, and you know what? I appreciate the context, and this is that each time we've done this, there was so much weight put on, how the teachers have really shaped and supported what you guys remember most about being in school, and I think it's really truly important that we continue to create those environments for kids, right, where they do feel that's very same thing, that they're excited to go to school every day because the folks that are around them are going to find those things. And Delilah, I love the idea that that your teachers saw what was best in you even before you feel like you did yourself. I think that's what we're charged with doing. So I appreciate you sharing that. Any other comments, quick comments before I move forward?
PS32, I'm sorry, I didn't read the names before. PS32 and teachers and clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. Teachers and clubs. Clubs, super important. I know, the vast majority of our schools do have that going on in their buildings too. So thank you for entertaining that really quickly. Just a couple of quick things. Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th through October 15th. Our schools did engage in a number of activities to reflect on Hispanic heritage. We do encourage this not only during this month, but throughout the year for all of the cultures inside of District 25. But I thank our schools for engaging in work surrounding that. October is National Bullying Prevention Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and National Principals Month. A couple of things on this. We know the importance of making sure that our kids are in safe spaces where their environment is promoting that space where they feel comfortable in being in school every day. Which is why we do have a goal directly around the space of creating a safe and welcoming environment in our schools. The space around breast cancer, I think it's really important that we consistently are there to support. Our schools did engage in a number of activities, just as buildings, teachers wearing pink, just to reflect on this. I know that you know, unfortunately, cancer is something that does impact us all in one way, shape, or form. I know it has impacted my own family in many cases, sadly. But it's something just to continue to reflect on and be there to support those that do have this particular disease. And National Principals Month, always appreciate all the work that our building leaders do to support our kids every single day. Upcoming celebrations, Diwali is scheduled for where schools are scheduled to be off on November 1st in celebrating Diwali. So happy Diwali for all of our families that are celebrating. And certainly Halloween is on October 31st. For all of those that are going to be bringing their kids trick-or-treating, I hope everyone has a safe and enjoyable time. I want to celebrate PS 120 has a new security system. Thank Neely Rosick, Assemblymember Neely Rosick, for supporting this work, providing $250,000 allocation to 120 for a new security system. So really appreciate that. Always looking to enhance our you know, school safety equipment around our buildings, and this is just one example of that in District 25. So thank you to Assemblymember Rosick. Summer reading raffle winners in late September, early October, had a chance to go to each of the award winners. This was really quite fun for me. The kids were so excited to receive their awards from me. We gave them a little book bag with school bag with a bunch of books and other prizes inside of it. It was really quite cool. You know, our middle schooler was what was cool about this is that our middle schooler was just as excited as some of our first, second, and pre-K students that were award winners. So congratulations to all of them. And one of the things that I asked them is if this is something they'd like to see me do more often. And each of the classes that I was in said yes. So we're going to be creating more space for this as the year goes on, just to continue to promote reading here in the district. Ribbon cutting for PS 32. This went really quite well. I'd like to thank Principal Arico for putting on a really amazing opening, ceremonial opening for the new addition at their school, along with their PTA and so on. They did a really, really nice job of welcoming everyone, including our local elected officials. Really appreciate all of them for being there and supporting the opening event. One other opening, which should have been here, I missed the slide somehow, but we also just had our opening of Bell Academy and 169 and the naming of the Paul Vallone Community Campus. I do want to extend gratitude to all those that were involved, including our CEC, for really pushing forward the opportunity for that school to be named after our late council member Vallone. That event was really well done. And you know, I so appreciate the work that Principal Abbott and Principal Rosa put into making it a really memorable experience, not only for me, but for the community members, as well as Mrs. Vallone and her family. So it was really, really nicely done. Early in October, I had an opportunity to go with students from JHS 185 and PS 79 to NASDAQ as we participated in the closing bell with Goldie Hawn, and who's the founder of the Mind Up program, which we are using across the district. This is to really celebrate the importance of mental health and raising awareness around mental health. So, you know, it was something that was really, really, really a great experience for the kids. They were, you know, smiles ear to ear, and it was really, really a cool experience. And their images were posted up on outside of the NASDAQ billboard. They were on MSNBC. You can actually search that. You'd see the little video clip of of the kids being on MSNBC was really quite an experience, all with the mindset of supporting mental health across the district. This is what I mentioned earlier about breast cancer awareness. You can see some of our schools really engaged in this work to really promote understanding around this cause. Upcoming event, this Thursday, we have a math family night. Really excited about this at PS 154. So thank you, Principal Gathers Bullard, for opening your doors to this. There'll be all kinds of math games, prizes, free math tools, and more. For our families to really engage in, a variety of different ways to connect with their kids. Last year we did 3 of these, and they were all very, very successful. One of the things that I loved most about it is that parents and their children were actively engaged in math types of activities through the duration of the time that we had with them. So I encourage any of you, if you're interested, please join. If you know family members that are also interested, please have them join. The events are very well planned and very supportive of getting an idea of what we're doing in mathematics. Other workshop events that are coming up, these are really super important as well. On Monday, October 28th, we're going to be hosting an iReady parent workshop. Thank you, Principal Cummings, for opening your doors to us for this. From 6 to 7:30 for families that do want to do this in person. It'll also be accessible to you via online access. And basically what's going to happen during this session is that there will be a presenter that shares with families how to access what the current state of your child is based on the iReady diagnostic. And then more importantly, how do you utilize that information to go on your child's own pathway, which gives you access to resources for your child based on where they performed on the iReady diagnostic. So I encourage all families to participate in that. We also have a Math Virtual Parent Workshop series to promote algebra readiness. That is on Tuesday, October 29th from 7 to 8:15. That's done via Zoom. We have an Acadience Virtual Parent Workshop from 5:30 to 6:30 on October 30th. This one, like iReady, is very, very important for our parents of children in kindergarten through 2nd grade, as it's going to include information around how to understand how your child performed on the screener, the Acadience screener that's administered in the beginning of the school year, so that we can get all of our kids on track to reading by the time they get into 3rd grade. And then lastly, the last upcoming session will be our IEP process workshop training on Tuesday, November 26th from 6 to 7. This is something that was very well attended last year. I do encourage any of our families that are in the IEP process or want to learn more about the eligibility to receive an IEP to connect, as Nathan from our team is a really, really great resource for any of our families that are in need in that area. D79 program, I just like to continue to highlight this. We do have a program in district that's being hosted at 237, along with a series of other schools in the district, but this is the hub of this, with over 400 participants that have registered. There are multiple evening events, evening classes and Saturday classes in the area of ESL, as well as a GED program, which we're really, really excited about and look forward to moving forward. This you already know, the Acadience window goes from the 16th to the 25th. The iReady window from the 16th to the 25th for reading and mathematics. And the only assessment that shifts for us is Algebra 1. In math is only given to those children that are planning to take the Algebra 1 Regents. The MAP assessment is more aligned to the Regents than iReady, which is why we have that subtle shift there. But the window for all of our assessments closes on October 15th. The November President's Council, provided that you guys are okay with it, I will share with you the current state of what the data looks like for District 25 so that you have an understanding of how we're performing compared to past years. in alignment with our goals, which I'm going to briefly highlight here. You guys have already heard me go over them. We have priority 1, all students learn to read well. Priority 2, all students are physically and emotionally safe. I'm sorry, I went too fast with that. For our first one, we're going to be focused on decodable text to really push our kids' ability to read. Priority 2 is going to be continued outgrowth of the use of the Mind Up program to support social emotional learning with action projects for our middle schoolers. And this is what I had talked to you guys about in the past. The action projects are really for our kids to take ownership over creating an environment that that they want it to be like. So if we're saying that we have peers that are not respectful of one another, we want to make sure that they are taking ownership over creating an environment that allows for that. So more work is coming moving forward for our schools in that area, but I'm excited to see what our kids come up with. Priority 3, also around reading, grades 3 to 8, we want to improve outcomes for our students as readers. Explicit instruction is our focus. Math routines, as well as problem solving in mathematics is going to be a focus of ours to improve outcomes so that our kids are more Regents ready by the time they get into 8th grade. Last year, we had 1,300 children take the assessment. Upwards of around 90% of them were able to pass that Regents exam. But we don't want our kids just to pass it. As I mentioned before, we want them to be in a space where they're performing at that 80 to 85 plus range on those assessments. In terms of parent engagement, we want to continue to support the growth in our schools in terms of making these relational type of activities, which is why these activities that we're also planning at the district level are to serve as a model. So like these math family nights, the idea of iReady, where we're promoting the idea where families can get on and see what's happening for their own children, so that we're creating more relational space for these things to be about my kid and not just learning about something that the school's doing, but it's really more directed to you and your child. So schools are doing a lot more of this in the form of First Fridays, Welcoming Wednesdays, Together Tuesdays, all different types of names that they've come up with it over the course of time to really promote access for families to do this type of work. We're also looking for our schools to make sure that their families know more about the progress of their children. So we'll be sending a survey out from the district just to gauge some information from you around whether or not you are receiving that type of progress check from schools to use as a support for improving that throughout the year. And chronic absenteeism, this one you guys know I've been talking a lot about to improve chronic absenteeism rates across the district. All of our schools have a team dedicated towards improving this, and we're going to continue to work with them from the district level to support improved rates. We are currently third in the city in terms of overall attendance. Actually tied for second, excuse me, for the overall highest attendance rates in the city, which is great. But we still have some work to do when it comes to chronic absenteeism. And lastly, and this we don't have to answer now, but something that I've been asking everyone to really think about in terms of our vision statement, from many roots, growing as one community, empowering learners, embracing differences, providing equitable access and opportunity for all. So my question for all of you guys is what does this actually say to you as parent leaders? And what else can it say? Those two questions is something that I want to kind of leave off with you to just kind of reflect on. And then give me some feedback and add it into the chat. Or, you know, I do plan to revisit this during our next meeting, give you some time to really think about what else this vision statement can and should say to be more reflective of our district, so that adjustments can be made to it as should be over the course of time. So please give that some thought, and I look forward to some of your feedback. But other than that, it concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay, Rachel.
Go ahead. Excuse me, go ahead.
Let me see if can you guys see it?
It looks good, Esther.
Of course it does, Louis. This is our agenda. I'm gonna say this.
Oh.
Some of us from the district office just attended this 5:30 p.m. meeting where they're pushing this event that's happening. It's called Safe Streets, Safe Schools, a community call to action. The plan is to have this one in the city, which will be on Saturday, October 26th from 8 to 2. We need District 25 parents to sign up and enroll. I know it's last minute, but I know that we will be there and take all the information. They will be providing breakfast, and babysitting will be available should you need to take your child with you or your children with you. We really ask District 25 to participate in attending. They're also thinking that after this one, each individual borough will have one. So Eden, our CEC president, said that we will have one in our district, and we're welcome to having one in Queens just for our parents. But if any of you are available, please sign up and show up on Saturday from 8 to 2 at High School of Fashion Industry, which is on 24th Street between, I think, Broadway and 7th, I think it is. So if you're attending, please let me know, shoot me an email so that we know that you signed up for this event. We had Dr. Mike already. I thought Mr. Umit was gonna present. Is he here? Do you want to say a few words? No? Okay. I'll go on. All right.
Hello.
Hi. Let me go ahead and stop sharing so they could see you. Okay, there you go.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. I just went to get some water to drink. I'm sorry I missed what you said, Esther. I know that I heard my name, but
wanted you to introduce yourself to everybody.
sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Omid Serin. I'm the Deputy Superintendent for District 25. I'm so honored to be part of this family. I want to thank Esther for going above and beyond for, to make these meetings enjoyable and informative. Please let us know how we can serve our community better than we are. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. For all the new parent leaders, as you know, we did introduce our our family in District 25. If you want to get to know us better, you have our website at d25.nyc, and we'll go ahead and talk about that a little later. Let me go back to sharing my screen. And Rachel, do you want to talk about this or?
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm having a rough night with my throat. As was mentioned in the chat by Eden Rubenstein from our CEC, there will be a Chancellor's Town Hall on Monday, November 18th, when our next President's Council meeting is scheduled. So next month's meeting has been moved to be held on November 25th to allow everyone the opportunity to attend that Chancellor's Town Hall at JHS 185.
And here it is. The flyers just came out today. We're waiting for translation in all the other languages to go ahead and send them all together. But yeah, the Chancellor's Town Hall will be held at Junior High School 185. And if you have any questions or want to ask any questions, and particularly anything that you're on the D25 website, you could go ahead and submit your question. And we'll share that a little bit more. Oops. All right, take it away.
Okay, so this is for school year 2024-2025. These are your current board members for President's Council. Oh, there's no second A in my name. Sorry. But I'm your president, Rachel Baltadano. I am from PSIS 499, Queens College School for Math, Science, and Technology. I have an 8th grader and a 3rd grader there, and my junior graduated from there. And Mirna Pacheco is our treasurer. Mirna, would you like to introduce yourself to the community?
Yeah, good evening. My name is Mirna Pacheco. I am at PSMS 219. I have one child in that school, is a sixth grader, and I do have a child that is in high school in East West.
Okay, and thank you, Mirna. And our recording secretary position is currently vacant. So we will be holding elections this evening for that to fill that vacancy. So that takes us to our next agenda, which is our expedited election for a recording secretary, or if more than one wants to run, we could have co-recording secretaries. I'm going to go ahead. It is 6:57. I'm going to open the floor for nominations for the position of recording secretary or co-recording secretaries. To nominate yourself, you can either put it in the chat. You can unmute yourself and nominate yourself. And if more than one person's run, we could possibly have you run as co-recording secretaries. The responsibilities of recording secretaries are to take and maintain the minutes of the monthly meetings, which is not difficult. We have recordings up on the website of current and past meetings. You do not need to provide every single detail. However, Louis Latito would run a transcript if necessary for reference purposes. And I've been a co-recording secretary before, so I can help out when needed. So I'd like to open up the floor to any nominations. You can nominate yourself or someone else as long as the other person accepts the nomination.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Xian Chen. I'm the PTA president of Junior High School 189 Queens. I'd like to nominate myself as the secretary of this president council. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your nomination. Okay, so we have one candidate for the position of recording secretary. Is there anyone else interested in nominating themselves and possibly serving as a co-recording secretary with Ms. Chen? Okay, I'll give it a few seconds. I would say a few minutes, but that would seem really long with all the quiet that's in the meeting right now. Okay, so I will close the floor to nominations in 3, 2, 1. It is 6:59 and the floor of the nominations have closed. As we have only one candidate, all I need is for one member from the group to make a motion to accept the nomination and then state their name, and then for someone else to second the nomination and state the name. Or not the nomination, second the motion.
Joseph Vaughn, IS-25 treasurer. I vote yes.
Hi,
Okay,
Crystal Sala, PS79. I second.
Okay. If all those in favor, if you could just put a thumbs up in the chat. Okay, if anyone is opposed, if you could just type no in the chat. But it looks like we've got all thumbs up. Okay, it looks like it is unanimous. So congratulations, Ms. Chen. Thank you for stepping up and being the recording secretary for District 25. If you would please email Esther Maludo with your contact information, including your address, phone number, email, preferred email, after the meeting so that she can prepare the election certification form. Thank you. And if you'd like to have a minute or two to speak about yourself and your children, if you'd like, it's your choice, no pressure.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And I would like, to input my contact information in the chat. So every time if you have anything want to let me know, please feel free to contact me. You could either, let me know the things during the meeting or after the meeting, feel free to email me. And I would like to, cooperate with everyone, and the door of communication is always open. Thank you.
Thank you so much and welcome aboard.
Yay.
Congratulations. We're happy to have you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for stepping up. Okay, Eden, do you have anything to say? Eden is here from President's Council.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. The biggest thing for me really was the town hall that Esther and Rachel did mention. The flyer will be coming out. Please make sure to get registered, share it out to the schools. If you have any questions, make sure you submit the questions because we will be going over those at our next CEC meeting so that we can make sure we have them in order and organized in the best fashion of like topics and things like that to really maximize our time. Just so you know, the flyer will say the event is from 6 to 7, but there will be some performances a little bit before. So we will be opening the doors a little earlier so that you guys can also come in and see some performances from the 185 students. And we do still have some vacancies on the council if anyone is interested in joining.
Yeah, the town, just to kind of echo what Eden was just talking about, the town hall is a really great opportunity for our district to welcome our new chancellor, to be able to ask questions, but also just to be in community as District 25 with the new chancellor is a pretty exciting thing. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so is Smooth Sportswear in the meeting?
Yep, I'm right here.
Let me go ahead. Are you gonna hold on a second? All right, let me stop sharing so you could share. Give me 1 second. All right. And I think I made you co-host already.
Okay.
Yeah, you
so
did.
Let me just share my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Great. So I just want to first thank Esther for the opportunity to present to you guys. To introduce myself, my name is Chris Cocodrilli. I represent a company called Smooth Sportswear. So I am, the Queens representative. I work in District 25, District 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. As a company, we've been around for 17 to 18 years now. I personally work with about 80 to 90 schools within Queens, several schools within District 25. And, I just kind of wanted to go through some of the stuff that we do with schools within the neighborhood. So Smooth Sportswear, we're a DOE approved vendor. We mainly specialize in graduation packages. So caps and gowns, diploma cases, graduation t-shirts. We also represent a company for yearbooks with a company known as Entourage. They are also a DOE approved vendor. So we have, a couple nice packages that we put together for students who are graduating. Some of the popular packages include cap gown tassel t-shirt, diploma case. We also do drawstring bags, pullover hoodies, senior t-shirts, custom stoles. Within District 25, we work with schools like Townsend Harris, John Bowne High School, Flushing High School. With more elementary and middle schools, we work with IS 25. We work with schools like JHS 189, PS 21, PS 120, PS 29. So just to go through, this is some of the stuff we do for graduation. Like I said, for yearbooks, we represent a company called Entourage. So we do yearbooks within the neighborhood as well. And some of our senior t-shirt designs, senior hoodies. We also do varsity jackets, zip hoodies, things like that. And we also do event t-shirts. So I know with PTA, a lot of the schools we work with, they either run, school spirit wear for the school, which we do, or we also do field day and event t-shirts. So for October, for example, we do breast cancer awareness t-shirts. And, for all other events, that's something that we do as well. Okay. So let's see. Just to give you an idea, here's some of the schools we work with. So like I said, Townsend Harris, John Bound, Flushing, IS 250, IS 25, 189, Bell Academy, PSMS 200, 201, 242, PS 21, PS 29, and also PS 120. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Does anybody have any questions for me?
I have a question. Is there a minimum balance, like a minimum quantity we have to purchase in order to get like a delivery?
So for any printed items, our minimum is 12 pieces. So anything like t-shirts, pullover hoodies, sweatpants, crew neck t-shirt, crew neck sweatshirts, our minimum would be 12 pieces.
And is there any charge for like the design or silk screening of everything?
So we do have a setup charge, and we also do have an art charge depending on the design that you submit. For printed items, we do silk screen, as you mentioned. So it also depends on the design that we are receiving from you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Is the apparel sec portion, is that handled here locally, or is that handled by an outside vendor somewhere else?
So in terms of apparel, like I said, I'm the neighborhood rep. The company that I represent, Smooth, is located up in Yonkers. So we are a local business, and everything's handled within the area.
And are there shipping charges for the apparel?
Yep. So there are shipping charges, but it also, depends on the quantity and, the type of items that are going to be delivered.
And do you do online ordering, or is it strictly like paper, Excel ordering? How do you handle the ordering process?
So we do a variety of ordering. Some schools that we work with, they do bulk orders. So we'll just ask, hey, can I get 100 t-shirts, and we'll send that directly to the school. A lot of PTAs that I work with, especially in District 25, we either do order forms where we give the school a price, where we give the PTA a price, and they're able to, mark the items up as a fundraiser, and then they give their price to the families and they pass the forms out. Depending on the item, some schools I work with in the neighborhood too, we do online ordering, which is something we did for PS 120, for example. But that it would be dependent on the school and also what type of items they're interested in providing to the families.
And there's a question in the chat requesting that you post your contact information.
Sure. So that's my email, and then I'll also put in my direct line as well. Any opportunity to help you out with these projects. Like I said, we work with a lot of the schools in the neighborhood. If this is something that you might be interested in, I put my email there. I put my cell phone number. I'd be more than happy to come in with some samples, sit down, and kind of talk with you about, a program that would suit the needs of your families. Great. Well,
okay, thank you. Before we let Chris go, does anyone else have any questions for him regarding apparel or graduation packages, anything of that nature? Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Chris. We appreciate you taking the time.
Great. Thank you, Rachel. And thank you, Esther, for the opportunity to present.
You're muted, Esther.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Let me go back. Hold on. So as Dr. Mike mentioned, we do have a lot of events coming up in District 25. As you see, some of the ones that are coming up here. Now, if you want to be on top of what's going on in the district and you didn't get a flyer, you forgot the flyer, you can always go to our District 25 webpage where you will find all the information of all the upcoming events. So let me see if it lets me. Is it going or what? Here we go. Here's where you would find, this is a D25 webpage where you would find all the flyers in all the different languages so you can share, turnkey this information at your school. At your next PA-PTA meeting, you should be sharing the district information flyers and what's coming up. Maybe some parents can attend and maybe some other parents, you know, they'll figure out what days are best to come to the different events at the district. Oops, sorry. So as you could see, all the information here with the different flyers with the different languages these are some of the ones that Dr. Mike went ahead and introduced to us. So there you go. Oops, sorry. I think I just closed it. All right. Let me see. Now it's not going to let me go back. Haha. Hold on one second. Aha, there you go. Give me a second. All right. And here's just one of the upcoming flyers that Dr. Mike talked about, but this is a flyer. And I wanted to talk to you. Many of you are Title I schools. And if you are a Title I school and you know your DPAC person, your chairperson, we are in desperate need of representation. We have not been able to meet quorum. That means that your DPAC people, your chairperson has not been attending. There's some schools that have, don't get me wrong, but still not enough to meet quorum. We are looking for an alternate and a secretary, and we are in dire need of help. So please, please make sure that your Title I chairperson is aware of the upcoming meeting that's being held on October 29th. We did have to change it from the 24th because a lot of the parents wanted to attend the math program. So we went ahead and changed it to this date. As soon as they have the 3 members, a chairperson, alternate, and secretary, they will put out a calendar to go ahead and notify all the Title I person of the dates of the district PAC meetings. So it's very important that we get an alternate and a secretary as soon as possible so they can move forward in doing the calendar so everybody's aware and representation is at every meeting so that the Title I schools are aware of whatever information is shared and it could be turnkeyed at the school. By now, oops. It's very sensitive today. I'm sorry. By now, everybody that's a parent leader should already gotten your DOE external email accounts. If for whatever reason your parent coordinator has not given you that email, please let me know so that Jenny and I can get you that email as soon as possible. We're still waiting dates for training for the parents. As soon as we have those dates, we'll go ahead and share it so you can join and learn how to use all the different functions that this email address allows you to use. A lot of the questions that have been coming to the district and to Rachel and to President's Council is we use Gmail. Can we keep our Gmail account? You're welcome to go ahead and keep your Gmail account if that works best for your PAPTA, but do take advantage of the DOE external email account because it does have a lot of features for free. Like you could go on Zoom and do your meetings on Zoom and it's free. You don't have to be allocated those 45, 50 minutes and then you get kicked out. You're able to have a long extended meeting without worrying that they're going to kick you out. And even if it's just for that sole purpose that you get your email account to use a Zoom, go ahead and take advantage. You could go ahead and take advantage of the Adobe, Canvas, all the stuff that could help you make your flyers pop. So we're looking forward for that training for all our parents. We will communicate that information to all of you. We already talked about our date. So November 18th will be moved and this will be updated. Again, congratulations to all of you for stepping up and being part of your President's Council, your PAPTA. This is just reminders that we talked. Make sure that every meeting you have your Chancellor's Regulation A660 and your school PAPTA bylaws. And these are just helpful websites. I'll go ahead and stop sharing. One of the things that I told Rachel that I wanted to talk to you all about is CEC elections. As Eden mentioned, there is some vacancies on the CEC right now. If you're interested in being part of the CEC and you have no clue what CEC is about, or you want to get involved and you want to learn, CEC hosts their meetings every first Wednesday of the month. The way you would log into their meetings is by going through the same way you logged into this meeting. It would be a great opportunity for you to learn what the CEC elected members do. The elected members are parents from the community, and they get elected by all the parents in the school. And so what I wanted to talk about CEC, it's election year. That means this term for CEC is every 2 years. So PAPTA is 1 year, and then you have to run again if your bylaws permit it. But CEC is a 2-year term. Coming this June, at the end of the school year, will end their 2-year term, meaning that elections will happen before then, and a new board would come to take the seats. And you would have a new president, et cetera, et cetera. If you're interested in running for the upcoming CEC elections and have any questions, excuse me, any questions, please do not hesitate to ask myself or Eden, who's here. Come to the meetings. They're also in person. If you are around District 25 and you want to come in person and see what the meetings are about, and the exciting things that CEC does for the community, you're more than welcome to join. If you don't have time, you could always go to the D25 webpage and see the recording of past meetings so you could get an idea of what happens. But I'm telling you this because it's going to start coming. You're going to hear it from your parent coordinators. It's election year for CEC. You're going to start hearing all about it. We need people to run. We need people to step up and be part of the application process. And that's just it. If you have any questions in regards to CEC, please do not hesitate to ask. And more information will be given to you at every meeting and through your parent coordinators, so that if you want to go ahead and step up and run for CEC, you're more than welcome to do so. Eden, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think you kind of covered everything. We do have the rest of this school year for the second term, so it would just be finishing out this year and then running for the following year if interested. But coming to the meeting and really just seeing what goes on and getting involved, and just even if you're on Zoom, if you can't make it in person, just to hear what's happening in the district. And if you have any concerns, that's our chance to hear them so that we can kind of take action and bring that forward to make a difference. So if anyone is interested, please reach out to me directly. Even if you have questions, I'd be glad to answer them. And we just hope to see more people showing up.
Okay, they're asking me a question on the text here. Can 2 parents from a school run? Yes. So the way it works.
Yeah, I could clarify. So originally with the election, you can run from multiple schools with your 2-year term election, but let's say both of you have the most votes of the people that are chosen, the one with the higher amount of votes will be chosen. If there's a vacancy at that point and there is somebody sitting on the council that's from the same school as somebody else that's now interested in joining, now that we're not in the election portion, they can then join the council still, even if it means there's a second person from that school.
And there's different seats also. So there could be 2 parents from the same school, one being D75, the other one being, you know,
the IEP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Esther, let me just say, you know, parents, it's you know, some of the things that CEC does get to offer. We had 2 new additions made, and that's in large part to the efforts of the CEC. You know, because of the work that they had done with SCA and our local elected officials, those new additions were added. We have new schools coming on board because of the work of the CEC. They also helped in the naming of the school. They support projects that are going to be added to our district in the name of auditoriums and security upgrades. So a lot of things that they wind up engaging in that is really, really important for our district. So I do encourage any of you that are interested to hop on the train and support.
And those meetings are once a month, every first Wednesday of the month. Again, you can look at their, when you go to wwd25.nyc, which is our district webpage, and you see public meetings, if you click on CEC, you're able to find out everything, look at recordings and stuff that they do. Another thing that also the CEC does is have an end of the year award ceremony that honors students and staff for their outstanding community service. And that is a very well attended event that happens at the end of the school year. And so anyways, you're going to be hearing a lot about CEC elections because it's coming up. I know it's kind of early, but I wanted to let you know in case you are thinking about running for CEC, that would get you more involved. You get to know more about everything that goes on in the district. But I wanted to start giving information so that you guys could be aware should you want to take the opportunity to run. And that's it for me, Rachel.
And if somebody on the call was interested in filling one of those vacancies, how would they go about doing so? Eden.
I was actually writing in the chat. So the application is on the CEC website. So, but if anyone has trouble finding it, I did put my email in the chat, so you could feel free to email me and I can help you get that.
Great, thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Rachel.
Does anyone else have any questions about the CEC filling a vacancy or running for a position before we move on? Okay, and I think Esther, the last slide you wanted to share with some helpful links.
Yeah. But before that, can I go ahead and talk about the bullets that I was going to talk about?
Sure. Okay,
so a lot of questions have been coming through the pipeline of what a PAPTA can do. A PAPTA is autonomous, and they basically could do what they like, but you got to remember, you're working on someone else's house, the principal, right? Let's just say it's her house. So it's very important that you communicate to your principal what's going on, what are your plans, what are you trying to do, what events you're having. It's not like I'm the PAPTA president and what I say goes. No, we try to work amicably within each other, the PAPTA board, but also with the school staff. And we're not all warm and fuzzy, but we try to work together and make it work for the children. We're all working for the children to make their year as successful as possible. So if, you know, one of the questions that came in today was somebody did a favor for a school that had a pumpkin patch. The pumpkins were not delivered by the delivery person. So a parent decided to go pick up the pumpkins, but the parent needed gas money. And can they pay that person? Yes, if there's a receipt. If that person saved you from, you know, having all these parents come and you have no pumpkins, and they got their truck and got out of work and went and got you those pumpkins to make your event successful, and all the parent is asking for is for reimbursement of the gas, that's why you have a miscellaneous in your budget. So yes, you're allowed to pay that person if they have a receipt. Because somebody could come up and say, I need $100. You know, you have to have proof for every penny that you spend on your budget. And the other thing that I wanted to talk briefly about is banking. We shouldn't be having any issues when it comes to banking. When you graduate come June, the last day of school, the new people that stepped up will be the new 2 signatories on the check. All you need to do is take a copy of your minutes and, you know, stating that you are the new person, the new 2 people that are going to be the signatories on the check. Now, TD Bank was having a lot of issues. I don't know if you heard it on the news. I don't want to go into details, but some of our PAPTA bank accounts got affected. So far, we only know of one where they closed their account. This school is having a lot of trouble opening another bank account because they're asking them for all this paperwork. If a bank institute does not want to work with you with the paperwork that you're taking them, it doesn't say anywhere on the chancellor's regulation or the school bylaws that you have to bank with TDA Bank. Why would you want to stay with them after they close your account? Go to the next bank that will offer you a checking account for your PAPTA. If you still have trouble and you don't know, ask your neighboring school. Call us and we'll let you know what banks work. There's a lot of banks that once they know that you're a PAPTA, they know you're just trying to raise money. They'll even waive the fees, some of them. But as time goes by and, you know, things change. A lot of PAPTAs have a business account because it's easier to open and there is a fee. Last I knew it was like $10.95. I don't know if it went up, but if you have any banking issues and need help, Rachel and I and the whole board and Myrna, we're here to help you to best go ahead and get that, because you need your banking information set so you could start collecting the money. And the other question that came in, if you're having an online sale and you don't know how much money it's going to be and you have to do the report, do it as best as you possibly can, as long as everything's noted. The report says how much money did you allocate or how much money did you raise, and if that's still open, just put so far as of today, 10/25, we have $5,005. You know, still online shopping going on till November 1st. As long as everything's noted in your information and everybody knows, then you're fine. When you come to your PAPTA meeting and you read your minutes and the treasurer says, we have an ongoing sale right now as of 10/21, we raised $5,005 and we're still adding money. As long as you're clear and transparent to all your PAPTA on where you spend your money, you should be good to go. But if any chance or any time you have a question, please do not hesitate to call and ask. And we just ask that you're that you share the information with your PC or your principal, letting them know what's going on, because we work together in all our buildings to make it possible for our children to have the best year ever. And the last thing that I was going to share, I think I closed it. Here it is. And this is just where you could go ahead and find helpful websites, and that is a D25 NYC page where you could go ahead and find all the information about the district, and then anything you need to know about the DOE. The DOE has a parent involvement, parent leader page, and a parent association page that tells you everything. If you need ideas for your flyers, they have that. If you need the chancellor's regulation, is out there. If you need the copy of the bylaws, everything's out there. And the last one is PAPTA link. They will be coming to our November meeting, I believe, to go ahead and introduce themselves and talk about their website.
I have a question on the bank accounts. We're at Flushing Savings Bank, and they basically, I called and they said I had to wait for a business manager that opened the account, and I couldn't just go in with just a letter. It could be different. Maybe the business manager knows more, or the business account manager knows more. But at this point, we haven't been able to transfer our co-signers from the original PTA to the new ones. And I was wondering if we also went to Chase Bank to look for a better account that had more online options. And they didn't really want to open an account with us. I guess it was too much paperwork. Can you possibly give us like a list of banks that are PTA friendly?
I don't know, Rachel, who do you guys bank with?
We bank with Chase Bank, and we do have to see one of the business specialists. You can't just see a teller, but it's very easy on the Chase Bank website to make an appointment. And I've never had any issues with, I mean, the bank account was already existing, so I did not have to open one with them.
That's the thing. When you have an existing one, I think it was kind of grandfathered in. So there's new, like we don't have a, what is that, nonprofit work ID, and we can't use our school's ID to open it because we're not officially part of the school. So we don't have a org ID or a EC, whatever it is. So
it's an EIN number. Every school should have one. All PAPTAs as of 2015, I think it was 2015 or 2016, all of you had one. If you don't have it, that's one of the things that it needs to be transferred over to the incoming treasurer is the EIN number. The school has one. You are not allowed to use that. That number is so that they won't charge you taxes. It's to save you when you're buying stuff.
It's a nonprofit organization ID, but I don't think our PTA has a EIN number at this point.
So I will give you a phone number. I'll put it on the chat, and somebody from your school needs to call. I had a few other schools that called. They were able to get that EIN number and that information because, like I told you, all the PAPTAs in District 25 had an EIN number. So I will go ahead and place that. Just give me a second, and I'll look for that information.
Esther, can I interrupt? I was actually looking for that information before, and I just went back into the old books that they had to see if it was there, and I also Google searched it on the emails. I just typed in EIN to see if anything will actually pop up in our old emails.
And you were able to find it?
Yeah, I was able to find it, and I printed a bunch of them out and put them on every single book, even the previous past books too, just in case.
We have a question in the chat. Do the banks ask for our personal ID? We actually went to the bank recently to change signers, and when the new signers needed to be added, they did have to show 2 forms of ID, picture ID and debit or credit card in order to be added to the bank account. So yes, you do need to show. Generally, all the banks that I've worked with does require ID in order to be added as a signer to the bank account.
So I don't know why we're having so many issues with, this situation. I went ahead and put the copy of where you guys could go ahead and call to get your EIN number. From what I was told from some schools, it didn't take as long. They were able to go ahead and find it. But if you could do what Myrna said, maybe look it up, because like I told you, everybody should have one. If you cannot find it, we're being more than happy to help you at the district office.
Sorry, when you say look it up where? Like, I can't really.
Like what Myrna said, she looked it up in old emails. They should be files.
I don't have old emails. I'm new to the PTA board. So
all PAPTAs have a room, a cabinet. So if you could look through there to see anything that might be available, your files should be saved up to 6 years.
You said 2015, right? So it's
2015. President's Council went through each school and verified that everybody had an EIN number. Unfortunately, we didn't get a copy of everybody's EIN number. We just double checked with all presidents that were coming to the meeting, and everybody showed their EIN number.
Okay. I'll go look for the EIN number.
Joe,
It's
you know when you write an email to someone and you can put in the search bar, if you're looking for all the emails to your principal, it gives you that search on top when you write any email. Well, put down EIN and see what pops up on your search bar while you're writing an email.
are you talking to me? Because like I said,
Yes.
I don't have any past emails to the principal.
No. But what school email are you using? When you communicate to your vendors and to your principal or to your board members, what email are you using?
Right now, we're using our personal emails.
Okay.
I can ask if there is a PTA email, but I don't think we've ever set it up, or I don't know about it.
So most PAPTAs in the past were using Gmail accounts. So if you could find that, I could look to see what I find for your school back, see if I find anything, and I could go ahead and email you.
Okay, it's
Well,
IS-25.
Yeah, I know. I wrote it down.
Okay.
Also, all bank records should be kept for a minimum of 6 years for PAPTAs. So there should be some type of, in the bank records, you would hopefully be able to find something printed out or something there.
I mean,
with
the EINs are public knowledge, so I should be able to find it on the on some kind of website. No?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't had any PAPTA successfully find it that way. I've had everybody call the number, and that's how they were able to locate it.
So I'm assuming my Flushing Bank should have a EIN number, right? If that's the case.
They should have it.
Well,
but if they're giving you a hard time to, to transfer over, I know that a lot of banks have changed their policy, but here on the chat, a lot of people are doing Chase. So hopefully you have good luck with Chase.
We've tried. They said no. We needed an EIN number, and they said they weren't too friendly. Actually, I wasn't there, but
the Chase that I put up on the chat, that's the Chase we went to, and they didn't even care about the EIN number. They just wanted the principal's letter and a signatory. But your principal should always have a document of your information, so they might have a copy of your EIN number.
Okay, I'll double check that. And sorry to monopolize, but the process of using Zelle, is that still illegal in the PTA world?
No, that's allowed after the revisions to the chancellor's regs in 2021 as a result of the COVID. Yes.
Okay.
But only for payment.
And also it depends on your bank though. Like Chase Bank does allow it, but maybe not all banks do. For example, Chase Bank does not allow Venmo. And the chancellor's regs do require that the money should go directly to the bank account as opposed to go to a third party and then to the bank account.
So basically Venmo is like the third party, and then Zelle is actually straight directly into the bank.
Correct.
Perfect. So Zelle we can use. Thank you.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I have shared my email address in the chat, and I would like to share data again. And my question is about the DOE external email address. How long will it be valid?
So I told you guys to check with your parent coordinator. If you don't have it, I will make sure that you will get it tomorrow.
Oh, I have that. My question is, how long could I have that email address?
Until you finish your term. So come June 26 or 28, whenever the last day of school is, your parent coordinator will log in and then remove you.
Oh, I see.
But there's going to be a place where all your shared documents will be left. So if you left, I come in, I will be able to go to Junior High School 189 share folder and see all the stuff there. So you understand? So that's the way they explained it to us. You're using it this year. You finish your term. Come next year, I'm the new secretary, and I could go into that folder and see everything that you guys worked on and pick up from there.
But I think the new ones, they will have, you know, a new DOE external email address, because, you know, the first letters are based on our names. So each one, they will have their unique email address.
Correct.
Maybe
And
mine
you're
will be
sharing...
invalid. They will have a new one. And so that's
you have one as you're running. You all have one as you're running, you know, as your term. Once your term is out, you're removed.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Emails are only for parent leaders. And right now it's only for PAPTA and PAC. Eventually there will be adding SLT parents. But as right now, it's just the PAPTA and then your PAC people, your chairperson, alternate, and secretary. And then eventually they'll start adding all the SLT parents of each school.
Okay. Thank you.
Esther, there's a question in the chat that if they have an schools.nyc.gov email, can they still use that to log into DOE Zoom?
No, that's going to be, I don't think that's working anymore. That schools.nyc. It might be working, but that's going to, the DOE external is replacing that. So any minute, you're not going to have access to it. So I would start using the new one, just in case you don't want to be left without being able to use the Zoom. So it's, yeah, it could be working for you right now, but if in the future, that's going to be, I don't know, I think it's end of October or beginning of November. Those are not going to be working. I don't have the exact date, but I should start, you should start transitioning to the new one just in case. Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, that's it on my end. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to email or call or let us know.
Sorry. Okay, thank you all for your questions, and never hesitate to ask questions, because that's what this forum is for you to get information to effectively run your PAPTAs and to help you navigate things like opening a bank account. So thank you very much for your questions and your feedback. And I'd like to give everyone one last opportunity to ask any questions of President's Council before we end our October meeting. So I'd like to open up the floor to either via the chats, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question while you have Esther and I here to help you. Okay. Well, I guess we've answered all your questions. So if I could get somebody to motion to adjourn our October President's Council meeting and state your name.
Motion to adjourn, Myrna Pacheco. It is 7:44.
Thank you. Could somebody second the motion?
Second.
Thank you, Joe.
No
all
problem.
right.
Bye.
Thank you
we'll
so
stop
much.
the recording and we'll stick around. If you have any questions, we'll go ahead and gladly answer them.
Good night, everyone.
Feel
Good night,
better.
everybody.
Better,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mike.
You
Good night.
started it again, Esther.
Thank you.
You started
Bye-bye.